6:48. We are taking a live look right now in Norman, Oklahoma. This is the SAE house at the University of Oklahoma, which is now empty and locked down. Obviously, reporters are covering that story this morning. The school ended up cutting ties with that fraternity, and a former member is now coming out and apologizing publicly for the first time, asking for forgiveness in his role in that video that was released over the weekend. The controversial video showing members of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity chanting racial slurs and referring to lynchings. Now, the parents of another student who were seen on the video say that their son made a horrible mistake and will have to live with those consequences forever. Protests and rallies are still going on at the University of Oklahoma, and that fallout obviously continuing to come in.
Continues to be a big story. Hi again and good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Kyle Bosch. 11 minutes now before 7 o'clock, and we're starting our nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. And we start with a breaking news story for you this morning. 11 members of the U.S. military are missing after an Army Black Hawk crashed in water during a training mission in the Florida Panhandle. It happened last night. A military statement says that debris from the aircraft was located and search and rescue efforts are underway. Now, here's what we know. 4 aircrew and 7 Marines who were assigned to Camp Lejeune in North Carolina were on board that helicopter when it went down. Now, this is video from the Panama City area. A dense fog advisory was in place for that region at the time of the crash. It reduced visibility in some areas to less than a quarter of a mile. Now, there was a second Black Hawk that was on the training mission that was able to return to base safely. Officials at Eglin did release a statement this morning saying that the cause of the crash is under investigation. The names of the air crew and the Marines on board have not been released yet. Coming up on 6:51, time for weather and traffic on the ones, and we start with meteorologist Robert Hahn on another mild start to our Wednesday.
Yeah, not too bad out there at all, especially considering the winds are calm to very light out there, and temperatures in the upper 20s and some 30s. 29 degrees in Jamestown and Sisseton, 32 degrees here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, also 32 in Grand Forks, Devils Lake, and into the Fergus Falls area, as well as Bemidji. Satellite, yeah, we've got some clouds out there, and we'll continue to see those clouds as we head through the morning hours. Later on this morning, though, we're going to see those clouds clear on out of here. We're going to see plenty of sunshine as we head through the late morning hours and into the afternoon hours. And underneath these clouds, we are seeing just a touch of precipitation. A lot of that not reaching the ground, but where it is reaching the ground, we are seeing just a little bit of very light sprinkles and very light snow flurries out there, and that will continue to slide off towards the east and get on out of here as we head through the rest of this morning. Elsewhere across the northern plains, it is quiet out there and anticipated to remain quiet as we head through the rest of the day today. Off to the east, some rain from the mid-Atlantic down to the Gulf Coast states, Tennessee Valley, seeing some rain showers, maybe even an embedded thunderstorm, and off towards the west. Yeah, we're seeing some rain. Yesterday it was very quiet across the west, but today a lot of rain and some higher elevation snows falling out there. For us, we're going to see plenty of sunshine as we head through the late morning hours. By this afternoon, a few more clouds, and we're going to see some very warm temperatures out there, warming well into the 50s, some record-breaking highs possible. And as we head through the overnight hours tonight, mild out there as we head through the overnight hours. And as we head through the day tomorrow, again, another very warm day with record-breaking highs, certainly not out of the question. Today, some upper 50s, tomorrow, some lower 60s, briefly cooler on Friday, but then we warm right back up just in time for the weekend. That is a look at your weather. Time now for another look at your traffic with Al Ahmet.
Good morning, everyone. Traffic is getting awfully thick out here in the Metro Interstate Loop. Westbound Interstate 94, very heavy traffic there. Eastbound traffic is pretty thick as well. I just drove from Cheyenne Street, hitting the tri-level right now. Very heavy traffic eastbound as well. I'm about to pull onto Interstate 29, and that's always an adventure here because there tends to be quite a bit of congestion and very tight lanes, very tight lane switching going on here as well. Traffic on Interstate 29 this morning is northbound is very busy, and I'm just pulling onto the interstate right now, and hopefully they're going to let me in, and they are. So anyway, you got to be careful. Make sure that you allow your co-drivers a little bit of extra room to merge lanes and things like that. Busy morning out here, folks. Al Ahmet Valley Today traffic.
Got to be nice to Al, or he calls you out on air.
On air,
too.
I know. I was just thinking that.
Always let Al merge in. Well, somebody cue up "We Are the Champions," or maybe a little DJ Khalid, "All I Do Is Win." Bison fans celebrating once again. This time it's the men's basketball team. Last night they won their second Summit League championship, tournament in a row and are headed back to March Madness.
Fans stormed the court as the final buzzer went off to make the final score 57-56 against SDSU. And the Valley Today's Christy Larson, lucky enough to be at that fun game last night, and joins us again live from Sioux Falls this morning. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, Kyle and Lisa. Yeah, it was just around 10 o'clock last night that we were standing right inside of this arena, and fans were going crazy as NDSU won that second in a row championship for the Summit League tournament. Now, it wasn't just fans or even family members of players, but also former players like Marshall Bjorkland, who also stormed the court. He said it was an emotional time for him. He said he was almost actually more nervous to watch the team win this game than he was playing last year at the Summit League tournament. But we caught up with fans yesterday and asked them exactly why they wanted to come out to support the Bison team.
Bison athletics and the games are absolutely outstanding. The crowd comes out, the fans are outstanding, and our athletic department has come up with some outrageous players. So I mean, everything you go to, be it track and field, basketball, football, they're all just great. So it's absolutely fun to go and watch them and support them.
Now, last night, there were so many mixed emotions out there for fans and also for the teammates. You know, it was nervous, it was intense, there's so many different things. But of course, at the very end, everyone had a smile on their face as far as Bison fans go. And many of the players, as they cut down the rope and the nets from those hoops, they had big smiles. Even Lawrence Alexander put the net around his neck, and he also won the MVP for the tournament. And I know, Kyle and Lisa, that we have lots of highlights online, and a lot of people are going to be celebrating through the rest of this week.
For sure. Well, the party doesn't have to stop.
Oh, no.
Continue through Sunday when we
and
find
even
out.
The players can, take a couple of days
Yes,
off before they find
it.
out who they're going to play in the tournament and do a little celebrating themselves.
Christy Larson reporting live from Sioux Falls. Thank you, Christy.
5 minutes ahead of 7 a.m. on this Wednesday morning, police say they're trying to find a man who robbed a pizza place in South Moorhead. It happened yesterday afternoon at the Little Caesars just north of I-94 near 8th Street.
Witnesses say he was a thin black man wearing a gray sweatshirt, ski mask, and camouflage pants at the time. He was about 6 feet tall and in his mid-20s.
A 4-year-old boy is back safe with his family after a kidnapping and car chase in Minneapolis. It happened about 5 last night. The state patrol ended up chasing the suspect vehicle on a nearby highway. His car eventually got stuck in mud in a ditch. This is a picture of that scene. Troopers were able to arrest the 24-year-old suspect and rescue the child. Police say the suspect is known to the family. Minnesota Republican Party leaders are calling for a $2 billion tax relief plan now that the state has a $2 billion budget surplus. At least some of the leaders are. They claim the surplus is big enough that they can give $350 to every man, woman, and child in Minnesota. The message, however, is apparently at odds with the highest-ranking elected Republican, House Speaker Kurt Dott. He is supporting some tax relief, but also wants spending programs for education and nursing homes, among other things. Lawmakers will lay out their official budget plans over the next couple of weeks.
You might be able to enjoy a drink a little earlier on Sundays in North Dakota. The State Senate Judiciary Committee heard testimony on a bill that would change the time that alcohol can be sold in restaurants to 11 a.m. on Sunday.
The bill sponsor says it would help North Dakota restaurants because surrounding states like Minnesota already start serving alcohol earlier on Sundays. No one spoke in opposition to that bill. Well, with the Bakken oil region in western North Dakota producing more than 1 million barrels of oil a day, North Dakota state lawmakers are calling on Washington to lift a 40-year ban on exporting crude.
The Energy Policy and Conservation Act, which dates back to the 1970s, bans oil exports from allowing companies to export refined petroleum products such as gasoline or diesel. The state Senate yesterday approved a resolution asking Congress to lift the prohibition on crude. It now goes back to the State House for final approval. A neighbor's tip led authorities to what they call a major case of animal abuse in the Northern Valley. 51 beagles were removed from a home in Shelley, Minnesota. One dog was found dead in the home. 23 of the dogs were taken to the Polk County Humane Society in Crookston. The rest needed to be taken to shelters in Fargo.
Oh, look, they're so happy he was sleeping. Missing an ear that was probably bitten off, I would guess, at some point in time. But they all appear to be fed. But there's going to be some skin problems that we're seeing.
Humane Society workers are busy naming and evaluating the conditions of all those dogs. Once the animals are given medical clearance, there will be a lot of beagles available for adoption here in the Valley. It's a double-edged sword for contractors in the Valley these days. The work is there, but finding workers with construction skills, not so easy.
Between major projects like Sanford's new hospital, the new Essentia Hospital, the housing developments that just keep going up around the region, and of course, the construction boom out in western North Dakota, the pool of qualified construction workers is being stretched pretty thin. Now, some contractors say this is one of the reasons that there's been a spike in the cost to get jobs done.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: what did 79% of people in a recent survey say they'd turn down even if it was free?
The answer this morning: a trip to space.
I'm kind of surprised.
As long as
Maybe
there's
it's
a
too
return
risky.
trip.
Oh.
Yeah, I suppose is that the key? You got to get a trip. You got to have the trip back too. Unlike the Mars mission, where they're looking for people just to go to Mars. And good luck and stay there
Forever.
All right. Warm weather is going to stay around for at least a few more days. Right now, not too bad out there. Temperatures in the low and mid 30s, light winds. We've got some clouds. We've got a little bit of precipitation showing up on the radar. A lot of that not reaching the ground, but where it is, could see a few sprinkles or flurries today, getting up into the upper 50s tomorrow, low 60s. A brief cool down Friday, but look at the weekend. Mid 60s by Sunday. Are you kidding me? Some areas could touch 70.
A nice weekend forecast to look forward to. Thank you, Robert. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. More local news and weather in 25 minutes.
See you tomorrow morning.